Grand rising to the collective. Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos a week, man. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But today, I ain't gonna hold you. I love y'all collective. I appreciate y'all, and if you ain't subbed up and you just like coming to the channel just to watch the clips, check the vibe, or whatever the case is, bro, I appreciate you as well. I hope everybody having a smooth 7, nothing but love. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Watch this video before it's removed from the internet.
Let's get in a little closer. Do you mind if I pull you in, sir? There we go. Will you tell our panel, please, what your name is and where you're from?
My name's Samuel J. Seymour. I'm from Maryland.
This is Mr. Seymour from Maryland. And we brought Mr. Seymour all the way up from Maryland, and by golly, he got in a hotel and fell down the steps and gave himself a shiner. And we urged him not to come on the show tonight, as a matter of fact, and finally got in touch with his doctor, and the doctor said it was up to Mr. Seymour. Mr. Seymour said he wouldn't miss it. So here he is. And feeling apparently pretty well. Now then, Mr. Seymour, how old are you, by the way, sir?
96.
96 years old. Now, sir, if you'll whisper your secret to me, I'm sure the folks at home would like to know what it is. Well, now, to help classify his secret, I will tell you it concerns something that he witnessed. And Bill Cullen, we'll start with you. Something that he saw happen.
This thing that Mr. Seymour saw, does it have historical significance?
Does this have historical significance, Mr. Seymour? I would say yes, wouldn't you, sir?
I can't hear him very good. You have to tell me what it is.
Yeah, there's quite a distance between our desks here. Let's all speak up, huh?
Does it have political significance?
It had political significance at the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you're 96, that would make Mr. Seymour born in 1860.
Henry's such a mathematician.
Yeah, he's been writing over there all the time. This thing, did it have anything to do with the Civil War, Mr. Seymour?
No, it had not to do with the Civil... Well, let's say indirectly it was concerned with the Civil War.
Did it
all right, an answer?
Mm-hmm. Did it concern a famous person in American history? Very well-known person.
Did it concern a famous person, Mr. Seymour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it help me to know who this person was?
What'd you say?
He wants to know if it would help him to know who this person was, and he has to know who that is, yes.
Did this man hold political office?
Did this man hold political office, sir? Yes. $20 down and $60 to go, and we go to Jane Meadows.
Mr. Seymour.
Henry is being his usual helpful self by whispering to Jane, McKinley.
And I'm not listening. Mr. Seymour, would this person have ever been president of the United States?
Was he ever president, this man?
Oh, I think it was once.
Would it have been Abraham Lincoln?
It was Abraham Lincoln, yes.
You witnessed something to do with Abraham Lincoln. Was this a pleasant thing?
Was it a pleasant thing you saw, sir?
Not very pleasant, I don't think.
No.
I'm scared to death, so...
He said, no, he was scared to death.
Would it have had anything to do with the President Lincoln's death, by any chance?
Unfortunately, yes.
Did Mr. Seymour witness the shooting of President Lincoln?
Mr. Seymour through a recent article in the American Weekly, and it said, I saw Lincoln shot. And this article is by Samuel J. Seymour, and it goes on to say that Mr. Seymour was 5 years old at the time. He had been taken to Ford's Theater by some good friends, and the curious thing was that when he was in his youth, 5 years of age, when he saw Booth jump from the box to the stage, at which time he broke his leg, his only concern was not for the president, because he didn't realize that the president had been shot, but the poor man who fell out of the balcony. And that's all of his memory is of going to the theater and seeing a man fall out of the balcony. Sir, it's been a great joy and you might say an honor to have you are, by the way, the only living witness of that tragic event. And we are certainly going to forfeit the complete $80 to you just for your courage in coming here to see us tonight.
Did you guys know that there's a guy on here that lives in Wyoming that's literally monitoring the fault line and how it's breaking clean across even his land?
Was.
Yeah, it was. Don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. Now there are people out there surveying everything, but don't know if he's still out there. All I know is the last video I saw of his, he stepped down into a crack that was deeper than he is tall. And, because I'm saying he got in it and it was like way up to here on him. I'm wondering if he went out there and fell in. Or if one opened up and it just so happened to consume him. Like so many people kept trying to tell him not to go out there. Am I the only one that saw his videos? Because I've been watching him for a little while, especially since the crack started. Not to mention they haven't been talking about the fact that the San Andreas fault line's about to give, which is connected to Wyoming. And then there's a big-ass 8.3 earthquake that's about to go through, starting with Illinois, that's going to hit on the East Coast. But you didn't know that because you were too distracted with the Trump shooting.
Man, he could have fell through that mug.
You ready for something wild? That's a fault line. Crack goes up there, comes down here. Crosses our road here. This is all sinking in here. That it's literally moving. You can see it cross all the way through there, all the way on that hillside. How deep that is? It's probably a good 2 feet deep. Like it just hit earth feet. But that's not even the loudest part. We're gonna take a step back to show you. That's our road. It moved about 5 feet that way. This is where we used to drive. And that's where it moved to. It's kind of scary driving over top of it, actually. Kind of worried that the truck might fall on one of these days. Can't see, but there's another one happening there. And like 5 more down this road. But this is the worst one so far.
Now this is for entertainment purposes. Collective, I got a question. Now, we know there's one that would rip from what? Chicago, Memphis, all that, right? We got another one, of course, that y'all know. San Andreas fault line. There's many other fault lines, right? Do we think that one gonna break at a time? Or they all gonna break at once? Now, me personally, I'm leaning towards they would all break at once. I also say I'm 50-50. Part of me think there's somebody under there causing them tectonic plates to shift and move and all that type of stuff. Or this is a natural thing that's about to just take place. Something that just happens here on this plane that we own. I'm 50-50. More so, if it happened at once, I could see it being a natural thing. But I also could see it being somebody working on that thing if it happened at once. Now, if it happened here and there and here and there, and the ones broke periodically, not all at the same time, that's when I would more so say it probably is a natural thing, because it's just happening periodically, like storms, things like that. But it is kind of crazy. We seen another road move like that. We starting to see him more often. But if he fell in, that's a high possibility, because he's I mean, who's to say he didn't go up to it right after it just shifted or just moved, and he fall in a sinkhole or something. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. First clip, that's crazy for him to only remember a man falling off the stage when something so tragic had happened. That's crazy. Rest in peace to him, because you know he no longer with us, because he was the last one living then. And that would look like an old clip. So, yeah, rest in peace to him. Dope clip though. Crazy story.
We have a mystery on our hands. I recently shared from Redneck Lawn his video of a potentially new fault line that has occurred in Wyoming, and it's basically 100 miles away from Yellowstone. He has been documenting this since February, going out there daily, measuring, taking videos, and literally posting daily. Well, as of yesterday, all his videos have been taken down, and he has not posted anything. This literally has turned into potentially another missing TikToker, like the whole giant case, and he's yet to say or post anything. I've actually personally reached out to him intending to do an interview, because this is something that we don't see, we wouldn't see in our lifetime, and it has the potential to drastically impact all of us. A new fault line isn't something to play around with or even ignore. And as close as it is to the supervolcano's Yellowstone, this is so many red flags. But now that everything has been taken down, his account frozen, and no word from him, what's going on? Is this another missing TikToker? His video is pinned to all of my channels, so take a look at it and tell me what you think.
I didn't even know that the fault line was that close to damn Yellowstone. See? But then again, I want to ask you this from a whole nother angle. What if nothing happened to him? What if he part of them and his whole job was just to put the truth in our face? Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he just got forced to remove all his content. Hopefully that's the case. But hopefully, because it's like it was there and now it's gone. And he gave us something now as he didn't. Like, well, he was giving us information and now we can't get no information. He's gone. Either they took him, he fell through a sinkhole, or he one of them. It's one of them three things. Nah, it could be multiple other things too. I'm just trolling. I apologize, collective. But let me know what y'all think, man. I'm just trying to come from another angle too. I'm thinking about it all, bro. I'm trying to use my brain here, so that's what I would say. But let me know in the comments. Hopefully he's good though.
See these hands coming out of this hole? Let me show you the video. The Bible spoke about the end times, right? That in the end of the times, everything that was living beneath us will come out.
I'd have been stomping on that damn stone.
This one's gonna drive you crazy. If I asked you who you thought that was, matter of fact, pause the video and write who you think this is in the comments below. And if you have an Abrahamic religion, I encourage you to scroll. I walk with all religions, but I am married to my mission, and my mission is married to the truth. See, many of you probably said the devil. But the interesting thing is, this art piece was not made from the description of the devil. In fact, I would challenge you to find somewhere in your Bibles, your scriptures, that describes the devil in the Old Testament or the New Testament with horns and red skin. It needs to say it explicitly or it does not count. See, most of you without knowing misunderstand the devil. What people have been calling the devil Satan, the great destroyer, the god of destruction for centuries, and you find this in different religions, different cultures, different spiritual systems, like the giant snake who swallows the sun whole in ancient Egyptian mythology. I mean, all of these entities that are normally depicted as reptilian, normally depicted as agents of destruction and chaos, they are all something that physicists call entropy. See, entropy normally refers to something within a system that creates randomness or chaos. So when you hear people say, man, the devil's trying to stop me from getting to my goals, or the devil did this, the devil did that, I want you to, when you really hear people say that, notice that they're talking about an invisible force within a system that is causing destruction and randomness or chaos. Now, of course, a scientist isn't going to call that the devil, but it's the same thing, right? An invisible force that is consistently separating things within a system, causing destruction, chaos, thermodynamics type stuff. Excuse me. One of the reasons people have such a hard time in life is because they misunderstand the devil. That's why I'm breaking that down. And you think that praying is good, meditation is awesome, but the real way to fight the devil is to create order within your life. If the devil does not have horns, of the Bible does not have horns and red skin, where does these depictions of the devil come from? Well, to really understand a religion or a culture, you have to understand its history, and you have to understand its culture. I meant religion earlier, not culture, just religion. To understand a religion, you got to understand its history and its culture. And Christianity comes out of a Near Eastern religion called Judaism. And where their gods came out of, their depiction of God and their perception of God comes out of is a lot of Near East religious and spiritual ideas of gods. Their gods often had horns on the top of their heads because this represented strength. You had the horns like an ox, you were like an ox, right? This represented wisdom at times, but mainly it was strength, right? The Most High in these Near Eastern religions had horns. This is very important. And the king of the gods in their spiritual beliefs had horns. I mean, you can also find this in North African spiritualities, like in ancient Egypt. But you see, as this religion evolved over time and eventually created a different sect that eventually became Christianity, Christianity looked back at all these different gods, right? When monotheism became a thing, where it was like, look, there's no other God but one God. Well, then you have to ask the question, well, what are all these other entities that people are worshiping? They decided on devils, demons. This is important because now the horns that all those different deities have become symbolic or attached to the concept of a demon or the devil. But this is where the irony comes from, because the statue behind me is a depiction or an art piece that was made from the description of Yahweh. And this one hurts people. The last videos I made on this, people got so angry and upset, but I'm going to try to break this down one more time, and then I'm done with it. I'm leaving it. I'm done with the whole horns conversation. Yahweh comes out of this Near Eastern culture, and just like the other gods were depicted with horns, so was he at times. Now, I am going to recite scripture, and I hate doing this. Let me explain why. And I explained this in the last video, but I'm going to explain it real quick here. There are too many translations and disagreements about those translations and which one is right. So everyone has a different favorite Bible. It has nothing to do with what is the best translation, just about what is most familiar to them. People who read the Bible often don't know where the stories come from or what culture inspired these stories. The people of the Bible did not have your Bible. They did not have your religion. All the religions today, as we know it, we're not in specifically the Old Testament. And I don't perceive the Bible as you do. So when I'm researching Yahweh, I don't see the Bible as an exclusive place where I can read and learn about Yahweh. I can study other cultures that he was in. I can study other peoples who worshiped him and also come to an understanding by studying them, because I don't perceive the Bible as this end-all be-all spiritual book that decides what I can and cannot deem to be holy and divine. You know, I made a whole video on that in the Council of Nicaea, and actually, it wasn't the Council of Nicaea. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But for the final time, I will give you the scripture. And this time, I will give a screenshot. Numbers 22. It is God who has taken them out of Egypt. His horns are like those of the mountain ox. Of course, there's different translations. Again, the reason why I don't like doing this, because it becomes irrelevant in the comments where everybody's throwing out their own Bible. But I can also show you tons of statues and depictions of El, the god El with horns. The God that y'all claim is the same God as your God. I'm going to get to why that's actually not the case. But yes, horns. I also get a lot of my information from actual scholars. I study tons of biblical scholars, but I'll just give you some that I study probably use the most. Let's get the most controversial one out the way. Dr. Malachi Z. York. If you know why he's controversial, then I'm not explaining it to you, so you know. But very good source of information on the Bible. I'm only going to say Dan because I cannot pronounce his last name. I don't want to disrespect him. Source of information on the Bible. I'm only going to say Dan because I cannot pronounce his last name. I don't want to disrespect him. Awesome scholar. Francesca, I'm not going to say the rest of the name because I'm going to mispronounce it. I don't want to disrespect her, but awesome scholar. Two of them believe in God. She does not. So, and guess what? None of them probably would agree with nearly the majority of things that I say, but that's not why I study people and study what they put out. Not to confirm what I already believe, but to learn something new, which I encourage you all to. I mean, most of you don't even know what the Garden of Eden story was actually about, and how El wanted everybody to spread the Garden of Eden, and how Yahweh is the son of El, Elyon, which is the God the Most High. And civilization was something that obviously was not permitted. And the Tower of Babel is an example of that. And how El eventually gives up and then divvies up the humans between his children, the God. And Yahweh inherits Israel. You want a book that really breaks down the Garden of Eden story and what it really means for us, how the Tower of Babel is a metaphor for the Matrix and the Garden of Eden is a metaphor for hunter-gatherers, and how you can escape this Matrix and live a free life with no mortgage, no bills or anything, go read the book Fams. That's also in a link at the top of the page. I love you all. Peace.
Fam, I know that was going to cause some controversy in the topics, but let me know what y'all think.
Since everyone's so interested in my video about the fault line and how much it moved, and how close we are to Yellowstone, I started to do some digging. Just out of curiosity. So here's where I found, as far up as I'm going up the mountain as it starts. And you can see it there, that all lifted up. It's been kind of a long video. See where this sinks down in here. I started walking this out. It's just slopping away there. This whole section's sinking. But what I found at the end of this has me even more curious. So I'm wondering just how far this thing goes now. It goes here, and then it kind of turns this way. See more right there. So it turns this way, beads up here, and over to here. So it's kind of hard to tell here because it's not too pronounced, but there is the line there. And if you follow it this way and look over the side of the hill here, right in line with this, where it kind of disappears here, right there, that's where the road moved that 5 feet. There it is. That's where it moved. That's where that pole's sinking in. You can kind of see it from here.
You know, when he said this where it's starting to sink in, I could see him just walking and just, you know, y'all know where it's going after that. I ain't gonna say the rest, but I hope that ain't the case. I also want to say, in the last clip, I never heard none of that before about horns being depicted as being good. I always seen it as being bad. Let me know what y'all. But for me, when I listen to somebody talk, I don't, especially with any topic, I don't give a damn what it is. I don't listen to them to wait so I could disagree. I listen to them so that I can pick up on the good things they are saying. And if it is bullshit, then, you know, it ain't all gonna be bullshit. It's always something good and truthful somebody's saying, and it's always some nonsense somebody's saying. But you gotta be wise enough to be able to go through and pick and choose for yourself and use for what's good, what's gonna be good for you in your journey. But I didn't listen to him to disagree with him. I was listening to him to kind of get an understanding. Do I believe him? I don't know. I gotta go look. I don't know until I look, but I've never heard that before. But am I gonna just shut him down? Nah, I'm gonna go check him out. I'm gonna go see. He put me in a direction to go look, so I'm gonna go look for myself, and then I'll choose. But all I want to say is in some of the stories, there's a story that reptilians, there was supposedly a big giant snake that swallowed the sun. I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think when he refers to that story, do you think that he's referring to them switching the sun or sun simulators or things of that nature? Of course, we may not see a big snake go attack the sun, but in a metaphorical way, do y'all think maybe that was them putting it out there like that? Like, oh, we're gonna just switch the sun out. Am I reaching? I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
You ever heard of the Orang Pendek? Most people thought it was nonsense until the Homo floresiensis, until they found out about that hobbit person that lives in the island of Flores, and then they're like, okay, hold on, or lived, I should say.
Right.
As recently as 14,000 years ago, right?
I went into Songdung, which is the world's largest cave. That was only discovered in 1995. It's this massive opening, 6 miles of underground cave. You know, you don't see daylight for 2 days. You can fit New York City skyscrapers inside of it. It's so big. It has its own weather system. What's to say a tribe of small people couldn't hide in something like that and move in and out and never be seen? I mean, it's fantastic. And again, I'm not like a huge cryptid guy, but keep in mind, you know, as a Homo sapien, they have a higher intellect, which means they're better at avoiding people, right? So it's, you know, it's not unreasonable to say if there was a group of small humanoids out there that didn't want to be discovered, they could stay hidden.
I mean, very true.
What is Hollywood hiding? Pay attention to what the child in Back to the Future 3 is doing.
Dr. Brown? I wrote this note Back to the Future and now it's erased.
Of course it's erased!
But what does that mean?
It means your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Both of you.
The hell's that? I don't know what we just saw with that last little clip what the little kids was doing. I don't know, but I mean, for entertainment purposes, we clearly know what was going on there. But I guess it was supposed to go over people's heads, and as we know, sometimes they may have put it in our face then, and some people may have caught it, some people may have not caught it. But one thing's for sure is over time, everybody's gonna catch this shit. So the people who caught it years ago already caught it. Then there's gonna be people who gonna see that later and be like, oh damn, that's just more people added on to this who really saw the truth. But it's just crazy that they really put stuff like that out. It's wild to me, and that was Back to the Future is a old movie. I don't know what to say about that one. That one kind of crazy, but I never really seen that movie, so I don't think I'm gonna watch it now. But y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos a week, man, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I hope y'all having a smooth 7. Shout out to the Collective again. If you just watching because you just like seeing these videos or you just like the content, I appreciate you too. It's all love. Until I see y'all in the next one, man, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my count. Sheesh, at the amount.